Manifestation is not about winning. It's about playing. What is manifestation? The typical ways we're doing manifestation work repel the very thing we seek. If you've been working hard to manifest, chances are it hasn't been working out. So where do you want to play in life? What is it in life that you want to play with? It's not so much what we think about we bring about. It's what we feel in our hearts with greatest emotion. Hey! Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. We're going to talk about manifestation today. We are going to have fun with the top 3 steps of manifestation, with getting you into flow and with helping you to follow the flow line. Let us dive in and play, shall we? Hold on here. Okay. With apparently flying monkeys. No monkeys were harmed in the making. Well, that one may have been. That was Mojo. Let's talk about 3 simple steps to manifestation. Why? Because if you've been trying to manifest, you're probably off. If you've been working hard to manifest, chances are it hasn't been working out. If each and every day you've been working on your manifestation, stop. Take a deep breath. Let's get you on track. Because manifestation is not hard. Manifestation is not about trying. Manifestation is not about working on anything. It's about getting into flow. It's about getting into a state of grace and ease. And actually, I want to really share with you about grace and ease tonight. Because if you've been following our show at all, if you're new, hello, welcome, woohoo! If you've been following our show at all, you know that we're going out on the road in a rolling recording studio, home, the work set up in about a month and a half time. And we have manifested the most amazing rolling studio and home. Her name is Grace. And we are in the process of manifesting the most amazing truck, pro-level truck, to carry Grace. Her name will be Ease. And I'm going to share with you tonight about what grace and ease and the journey to find grace and ease has to do with the 3 simple steps to manifestation. So tonight, 3 simple steps for manifestation plus a powerful manifestation meditation at the end. So you're not going to want to go anywhere. You're not going to want to leave the video before it's done. You're going to want to stay here to the end and be sure to catch this manifestation meditation, which is going to 10x all of your manifestation work. What is manifestation? Well, in simplest terms, it is to attract into your life. Why is it important to understand, and why am I going attract? Because if we are running towards something, if we are pushing towards something, if we are striving towards something, remember this law of physics. Each and every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When you run towards something with full deliberate speed, it runs away from you with full deliberate speed. When you push against something with full deliberate speed, it pushes back against you. What does this mean? It means that the typical ways we're doing manifestation work repel the very thing we seek and keep it at arm's length at best. Why? Because manifestation is about an energy. It's about turning you into an attractor magnet. That's what we get to do. We get to turn you into a magnet. Push versus pull. When you push, you ain't getting it. When you pull or attract in, it's coming running toward you. Now, I mentioned it's about energy, but it's a specific type of energy. It's about the emotion. Emotion. Energy in motion. When you have emotion spinning through you, good or bad, that's the key. Good or bad, spinning through you, you become an electromagnet. You become an energetic magnet to whatever you are focused on with the highest level of emotion. Important to understand, because I'm not trying to say, well, be careful what you think about or you're going to bring about something horrific. There is some truth to that. However, that's always taken to an extreme, and we always start to pick on ourselves if things go wrong around us and we go, wow, it was my fault. There's more to it than meets the eye. However, when you crank up that energy, when you get into that flow state, when you find the flow line, that's what we're talking about here. The flow line. If you heard of skiing, the fall line, which isn't about falling, it's about going down and going, woohoo, and finding that path of least resistance. When you find that path of least resistance, you're in a state of grace, you're in a state of ease, and you're in a state of greater joy. All right, let's talk about step number 1. Determine what you want and play with it. All right, I'm goofy, I'm childlike, hopefully not childish. I have puppets by my side on standby, just waiting for the opportunity to jump in. Why? Because this game is all about the energy. In fact, I've been teaching this month, I've been channeling and teaching on our Wednesday night Manifestation Mastery Circle. I've been teaching Florence Scovel Shinn on the game of life and how to play it. Manifestation is not about winning. It's about playing. So where do you want to play in life? What is it in life that you want to play with? This is so key. You get to determine what it is you want. Actually, let's put it more specifically. You get to determine what you think you want. That's a loaded point that I just made there. Think you want. Well, Michael, you talk about emotion, you talk about heart, you talk about feeling. So why are you talking about think? Because I'm planting a seed here. Or actually, you are planting a seed. Because no matter what you want, chances are it's greater than the seed that you are starting with. What do you mean by that? Well, I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it here. If you are an acorn and you want to be a bigger, better acorn, you may not realize that you might grow to be a mighty oak. If you're a pine cone, you may want to grow up to be a bigger pine cone. You may not realize that you're a giant sequoia redwood. So what we do is we feel out what we think is what we want. I want $1 million. I want a Ferrari. I want well, for us, I want the biggest, baddest truck. Rah, rah, rah. Tim the Tool Man. To be able to pull our mighty RV across the country. Great. That's awesome. That's your seed, or what I call the inception point. So really, we could say step number 1 is determine what you want, your inception point or seed, and play with it. For it is simply your inception point. In other words, you are putting your foot in the door of manifestation, or the door to heaven, where everything is created. I like to use the term heaven or kingdom of heaven. I think it comes from studying the greats like Napoleon Hill, like Wallace Wattles, like Florence Scovel Shinn, like Neville Goddard. They talk about that door. The kingdom of heaven is within. In fact, the Bible talks about the kingdom of heaven is in. But we can look at the Bible also as a metaphysical text and understand that everything we want to create, everything at all, is inside of us. We can say Hermeticism would say as above, so below, as within, so without. So in other words, determining what you think you want is planting a seed on the inside, a seed in your heart, or putting a foot in the door to your heart, which is the true attractor magnet. We often talk about thoughts become things. It means that thoughts are causative, that what we think about, we bring about. It's not quite true. It's not so much what we think about, we bring about. It's what we feel in our hearts with greatest emotion that we attract into our lives. You could simply put what we feel about, we bring about. It is why the things that we worry about the most, we tend to have happen in our lives. Heck, years ago, we were on the straight or narrow, but I always worried each year, I think around tax time or something. I don't even know why. It was kind of this unconscious fear. We're making so much money. What could happen? Well, eventually we got audited. Am I saying I brought about our audit? No. Did we do great coming out of our audit? Woohoo! Thank you, universe. But when we focus on the fear line, we bring that about. When we focus on the fun line, we bring that about too. Which is why, I'll go to them in a little bit, why I have puppets on the desk, why I'm continuously playing with puppets, why I have a rooster, why we do all the crazy, beautiful things that we do, is because I want to focus on that fun line, and I want you to too. Whoever said it's time to get serious, it's time to get realistic, it's time to grow up was insane. It's the insanity of society. It's the insanity of the tribe. It's not their fault. But I just had the most amazing guest on yesterday, Josh Linkner. He'll be out in a few weeks. And we were talking about creativity. And we were talking about how studies show 3 to 5-year-olds have 98% creativity. Once you get to 18 and above, 2% creativity. From 98% creativity to 2% creativity. Which means what? How do you manifest if you can no longer imagine? So what did kids have going on that we didn't? No responsibility. Yeah, maybe. But what they really had was a sense of joy and wonder and play and fun. And so step number 1, determine what you think you want and play with it, is about getting back to that state of joy and wonder and play and fun. How do we do that? Come up with your inception point. Come up with your seed. So if I take it to our truck, our big truck. At first, it was going to be this Freightliner sport chassis, this giant 18-wheeler mega of a truck, because we're pulling a 20,000-pound studio/home with us. It's a no-joke home. And so I've got this no-joke truck. And I'm looking at it, I'm studying it online, and I'm learning about it, and I'm feeling about it, and I'm playing about it. And I go from this sense of play, and I then take that and put that in my space capsule. Oh, goody. This is what we're talking about today. Playing in your space capsule. You've never heard of a space capsule before. Okay, you've heard of one with NASA. You've heard of one with SpaceX. But you've never heard of a space capsule when it comes to manifestation. But you should have. We'll get rid of the SH word. It's great that you're hearing it now. What's a space capsule? It is your sacred place. A spare bedroom. In our case, our rooster's bedroom. It can be a closet. It can be under the stairs. It can be your own bedroom when nobody's home. It can be your car parked in the garage. It can be a tent in the backyard. It can be anywhere where you can sit or lay down and daydream. The very thing we were taught not to do as a kid is the very thing we get to do for the greatest manifestation in the world. We get to play in our space capsule. I call it a space capsule because if you've ever seen anybody get into a rocket ship, They've got their suit on. They get in. It's not zero gravity. They're not moving that slowly. But they get in. They get buckled into their seat. The door gets closed behind them. And they get unplugged and untethered from everyone and everything around them. And all they're focused on now, with 100% of their beingness, is the task at hand. They have to leave all their worries, fears, concerns, and self-doubts on the outside of that space capsule, and when they get in the inside, focus on what needs to be done. That's what you get to do in your space capsule. So for myself, I have the spare bedroom that, if you've ever seen me with our rooster, Ruru the rooster, he's taking a nap right now. It's the room that Ruru sleeps in, but it also has a beautiful bed that I will go lay in midday. I call this napitation if you doze off during it. Napitation. It's a great thing. Try it. I'll go in there midday. I'll close the door. I might put on some theta brain entrainment music. In fact, we've got an upcoming automatic writing class a week from now on Thursday. This is our book, Automatic Writing, How to Turn Your Journaling into Channeling, and what a manifestation tool it is. And there's lots of free bonuses if you go to automaticwriting.com, including some theta brain entrainment music. But I go and I put on some theta brain entrainment music. And I go quiet. And now I see the truck, but I see the truck, not visualizing me with the truck, not just visualizing the truck, but I'm seeing through my own eyes, me walking to the truck, walking all around the truck. Maybe I kick the tires, maybe I look at the rims, maybe I even take a look underneath. I see myself walking all the way around the truck. I see myself opening the truck door. I see myself stepping inside of the truck. I see myself turning on the key. I'm driving this thing down the road. In my space capsule, I'm captain. In your space capsule, you, my friend, you are captain. You can create, be, do, or have anything at all that you desire. The sky is the limit. So I go in with my inception point, with my seed, what I want to play with. And I begin daydreaming, not watching myself in the second or third person, but being the person having what I desire. Huge difference. This is something that Neville Goddard stressed, Napoleon Hill stressed, many of the great masters have stressed, is there is a complete energetic difference between being the character and watching the character, between being in the experience and watching the experience. Watching the experience does not attract it in. It does not have the energy behind it. It's like watching a movie. Being the experience. Now you're vibrating at a frequency that can open the doors to whatever it is you desire. So you want to be the experience and be the frequency. And so I recommend you go and play in your space capsule each and every day. In the beginning, you're not going to be that good at it. In the beginning, you're going to go, and let's say it's not a truck, but it's bringing in, I don't know, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 extra a month, whatever it is, or attracting that partner, that spouse, that home, doesn't matter. Anything. And you go in there, and let's say it's big and bold for you, but just on this side of believable. $100,000 a month. How does it get any better than this? This is, in other words, you're attracting over $1 million a year into your life. Again, it has to be just this side of believable. If it is not believable, then it won't work in the space capsule. You can attract anything you desire if there is a modicum of believability. But if you go into your space capsule and you go, there's no way I can do that, it's just not possible, That's not playing. That's not an inception point. If you can't imagine 100,000 a month, fine. Go to 10,000 a month. If 10,000 a month seems huge, go to 1,000 a month. Play with that number. Something that's scary, that's big, that's bold, that's audacious, but that you can just about believe. Play there. And now live in that experience. But here's what happens. I'm living in the 100,000 a month experience. Okay, I can see it. I can feel it. Here's what I do. Here's what I'd say. It's coming to me. It's great. Oh, I don't know if I could do that. Wait. Bring it back. Okay, I've got $100,000 a month. I get to travel. I get to speak. I get to write. I get to do this. Well, I don't know if I can. Bring it back. In other words, every time you're in your space capsule and all of a sudden you find yourself back on Earth, kick it to the side, jump back in your space capsule. No doubt is allowed in the space capsule. Kick it out. What does that mean? It means, all right, between you and me, it means we've got flabby arms. What do you mean flabby arms? It means you're going to make a muscle and your arm is swinging around down here. Why? Because our manifestation muscles are weak to begin with. No judgment. It's not a problem at all. You've got a personal trainer, me. You've got another coach, you. The two of us together, combined with the universe, we're going to talk about that in a minute, and we will start to strengthen your manifestation muscles. So you go into the space capsule, you play, you hit doubt, you throw it out, you go back in, and you keep playing with this imagination. Another thing that happens is that you go from thinking about $100,000 to all of a sudden you're off in la la land. You're going for a bike ride, you're on a date, you're replaying an argument, you've got something else that comes up. That's great too. Recognize it, kick it out of the space capsule, and get right back into your manifestation work. Play. Key difference. Make this fun. What does it mean to kick it out? It means to switch back to the channel of that $100,000, to switch back to the channel of the experience. Let's say you're just envisioning in there because you're practicing and you want to go to an amusement park this summer. And so you're in your space capsule on a bumper car ride, and maybe your kids are there and you're bumping bumper cars with them. And how does it get any more fun than that? And all of a sudden you're thinking about taxes. Whoa, wait a second. Let go of the taxes, come back to the bumper car ride. All of a sudden, you're thinking about a conversation with your wife or your husband. All right, let that go, come back to the bumper car ride. Make it a fun practice. So you can start with really small things and practice and get better and practice and get better. It's shocking to me because I've been doing visualization work since I was in the Olympic Training Center, 89. I've been doing manifestation work. Oh, it might have been fall of 88. And yet, since, how do I put this? Playing in the space capsule is the highest level practice I've been teaching. And the student is the teacher is the student, which means I've been observing myself and seeing how much more I can improve in the space capsule as well. All right, so that's step number one. Determine what you think you want and play with it. And we're going to come back to the think in a minute. Because, like I said, that's an inception point. And that is so key to understand, which brings us to step number 2. Go to a place of non-resistance. This is such a key to manifestation. It's something we went in great detail with Florence Scovel-Shinn in our Manifestation Mastery Circle this past Wednesday. If you missed it, don't worry. You can sign up for the Manifestation Mastery Circle at InspireNationUniversity.com. $7 to try, $28 if you continue, $7 for a month worth of classes, and then it's $7 a week for each class. But you get the whole library, Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard, and now Florence Scovel-Shinn. Next month, Wallace Wattles on the science of getting rich. How does it get any better than this? But we talked about this principle. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When you fight against something, when you try hard for something, it will only go away. Another way to look at this If you've ever smothered a partner or a potential partner and they ran from you, that was because you didn't practice non-resistance. If you've overwatered a plant and you killed it, you didn't go to non-resistance. If you held on to something so tightly it went from coal to diamonds, which is actually pretty cool, you didn't go to a place of non-resistance. Non-resistance is a superpower. I cannot express this enough. Non-resistance is a superpower. Why? At the end of the day, truth be told, you and I, we're not in nearly as much control as we think. All of life, every single thing is a co-creation with the universe. Every single thing is a co-creation with the universe. It's a dance. It's a cosmic dance. And if you step all over your dance partner, they will leave you or kick you in the shin. But it will not be the flowy, joyous experience you desire it to be. And I use flowy for a reason, because we're going to be talking about the flow line with step number 3 coming up. So what we get to do is allow into everything. We get to stop holding on to our acornness, stop holding on to our pine cone nature. And when the growing pains come, when we find ourselves splitting in the middle and going, what's happening? We get to remember there is only good, there is only spirit, or there is only God, and that all of this is here to serve us. Not trying to sound preachy, far from it. But if you are a spiritual being, and if everything around you is spirit, then there is nothing that is not spirit. Then everything is happening on some level. I don't want to take away from tragedy. I don't want to take away from grief. I don't want to take away from loss. But on some level, everything is here to serve you. And the very thing that you want that you do not appear to be getting is actually designed to help you get something even better. Going back to step number 1, we're talking about determine what you think you want. What does this mean? It means there may be something even better in store for you. So, going back to the story of the truck. We wanted the biggest, baddest, sport chassis, Freightliner, kind of 18-wheeler truck, which actually, surprisingly, is not that bad fuel economy-wise, considering the 20,000 pounds we're towing. But we wanted it. And I found not quite the right one, didn't quite make my heart sing. But we found what we felt was the best for our needs. What we thought was the best for our needs in Indiana a few weeks back. Woohoo! We got the truck. I've been playing with it in my space capsule, but I knew that it was still an inception point, and I was, an hour or 2 evening away, somewhere in there, from signing on the dotted line for this truck. Woohoo! And as a kid, I used to watch like Smokey and the Bandit and stuff, Breaker 19, Trucker, Rubber Ducky, and so I thought this was really cool. And then the salesman tells me, I'm sorry, we're out of hitches. A hitch is how you connect the truck to the RV. Without a hitch, you cannot connect. And we just hit a hitch. We just hit a hiccup. What does this mean? It means you can fight right now. Michael, tier 1, you can fight and say, I need to find a way to get the hitch no matter what. I need to find a way to make this work no matter what. Can you sense the energy behind that? The energy of no matter what. All right, I want you to play a brief energetic game. Think of something really cool and fun in your life. Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Now think of something that you had to work really hard for and struggle to get. And did it feel light or did it feel heavy? No matter what. When you experience no matter what, it's time to pivot. You're holding on too tightly. Instead, go back into your space capsule and play again and see what even greater possibilities may be waiting for you. Again, step number 1 was just the seed. Now we're beginning to water the seed. The space capsule is your watering of the seed. But we don't know what's going to come out of it. We don't know what's going to grow. And so we do not fight it. If there was any fight, it would be to fight to not fight. Oh, that cancels each other out. I like that. Balancing the equation. Do not fight no matter what. Look, observe, study. Go into the space capsule and go, I've been wanting this magnificent truck, but it's not feeling right. Is there a channel I can change? Is there something out that may feel better? Go Google online. Go look at different things and say, does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? If something interests you, bring it back to the space capsule. If it doesn't interest you or feels heavy, kick it out and find something else. This is a game of play and exploration. In other words, step number 2, non-resistance, is a scavenger hunt. It's a scavenger hunt to find something that feels even better. And so for ourselves, we're playing, we're going, we're seeing how things go. And I had been told and determined that this was such a big RV that there was no way that we could use a regular pickup truck. It's just not possible. No way. No, can't happen, blah, 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 blah. But when I hit the no hitch, and I mean, Jessica and I are scouring the country for a similar vehicle. And actually, we scoured the country. And then we went into a local dealership. There are like 2 of these in the whole country. We went into a local dealership, which was interesting from a synchronicity point of view. Watch for the 3 S's. If I haven't mentioned that, when it comes to the process of manifestation, watch for the 3 S's. Signs, symbols, synchronicities. Signs, symbols, synchronicities. So we thought it was a very cool synchronicity, or a sign, depending on how you want it, that there is this truck dealership that turns out we didn't even realize was really close to us, only an hour, a little bit more than that in rush hour LA traffic, but only about an hour away. And so we go there, and they have a even better, greater model, newer bells and whistles than we ever could have imagined. Rah, 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 rah. And we could buy this thing. Woohoo! And we go and drive it. I mean, this thing is big. This thing is bad. This thing is fancy interior and this and that and the other thing. And guess what? It didn't feel good. It did not feel good. How many times has the very thing we wanted turned out to be less than when we got it? What does this mean? It means we move a little bit more slowly, we breathe in a little deeper, and we focus on the feeling state. If we've got thinking state in step number 1, we've got the feeling state in step number 2. And we felt into it, and it felt wrong. Didn't feel right. Didn't feel good. It really felt icky. And you get to do this. You get to do this in your automatic writing. If you've taken our course or if you read the book on the automatic writing experience, you get to go into your automatic writing and say, why am I feeling this way? Or at the very least, you go into your space capsule without judgment. No judgment allowed in the space capsule, no matter what. You go into the space capsule and you put yourself back in the truck and you go, ooh, this doesn't feel so good. Well, let me drive the truck a little bit more in my mind's eye. Why doesn't it feel so good? Well, it feels kind of clunky. It feels kind of big. It feels kind of heavy. It does not have any safety features to it, so I don't feel safe as I'm turning. I can't quite see around me what's going on with everybody else. This thing feels cumbersome, heavy, and unsafe, even though it's really cool with an amazing paint job and lots of bells and whistles. It doesn't feel good. Do you know what I call that? A blessing. We're going to talk more about that in step number 3, so don't go anywhere. But we call that a blessing. Why? Because when you feel bad, that's a gift. It's the most powerful steering in the world. In fact, it's worthy of celebration. It's worthy of going, woohoo! Because you just got powerful information from the universe. So, truck doesn't feel good to us. We've got Grace, the RV, and now we need ease, the truck. But she didn't feel like ease. And so I stepped back, and I highly encourage you to do the same, which is to drop the resistance to the opposite of what you desire. Look for the opposites. Because the opposite is the other side of the same coin. It's not actually that far off. What's the distance between one side of a coin and another? Millimeter or 2, maybe 3 millimeters. Maybe on the fattest coin, 4 millimeters. So you want to go, I'm like looking for my gold coin here, hiding beneath my tortoise. You want to go to the flip side of the coin. The very thing that you are fighting against may be the exact thing that you want. Can't be a pickup truck. No way it can be a pickup truck. Pickup truck couldn't handle it. No, 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 no. You notice the amount of energy I put behind it. What I'm really teaching you today is to become the Sherlock Holmes of manifestation, which means to pull out the magnifying glass and go looking for the energy. Don't label it good or bad. Don't label it anger or joy. Well, you can call things joy. Certainly do label everything a blessing because it all is. But when a powerful emotion comes up, do not run and hide from it, but pull out your magnifying glass and look at it with everything that you've got. All right, Michael, you're fighting so much against a pickup truck. Why? It's just a pickup truck. It didn't do anything to you. Maybe you need to go and check out the pickup trucks. Yeah, but I had a dream of all these pickup trucks crashing. Okay, you did. But there's this thing called a dually. What in the world is a dually? It's a truck with a big derriere. It's a polite way to put it. It has 2 wheels on each side in the back of it instead of 1. Dual wheels. Dually. So it has 6 wheels instead of 4. 4 in the back, 2 up front. Why don't you go test drive a dually? You know, that actually feels kind of good. All right, I will go test drive a dually. And so I went with Jessica last Saturday. We went down into Palm Springs and we test drove, not a new dually, but a 2019 fairly well-equipped dually. And we drove this thing around and it felt decent. Again, we're following the strings of emotion. It doesn't have to be that everything feels on top of the world. In fact, if everything felt on top of the world, then nothing would feel on top of the world. That'd be called baseline. If everything feels on top of the world, then nothing does. That's called baseline. And I went back into my space capsule. And I played with it, and I explored, and I experimented, and I tried different things out, and I went back online, and I did. I'm a big muscle testing kind of guy, so I'm muscle testing and going to my automatic writing, and I'm like, I've got it. We've got to go try the latest, greatest dually, because I have a feeling that my bias against pickup trucks may not be against pickup trucks. It may be against the older designs. And if I get a new enough one, it will have the power, it will have the braking, it will have the control that we need to pull 20,000 pounds plus. And it just felt right. That's where we want to go. And that's where we'll pick up the story in just a minute. What I would like you to do, as silly as it sounds, a manifestation technique is about a relaxing into everything, allowing everything to be. That is the state of non-resistance. And if you've been listening for this time, chances are that you are starting to feel a little bit tight from sitting so long or listening so hard. And so I want you as silly as it sounds, to kind of shake everything out. I like going into ahs and ohms. Ah, om, ah, om. You can do jumping jacks if that makes you feel good. You could pull out your puppet and do 10 seconds of jumping jacks with your puppet with Southern Comfort here. Do whatever it is to shake things loose, shake things out, get things good and loose. Ah, oh. You understand that this shaking loose right here, and you're going, I need to get serious. I need to listen to somebody who's serious about manifestation. This is very serious. Manifestation is all about energy. And when the energy gets stuck, you're not attracting diddly squat. Technical term. So shake things out for just another few seconds more. Get up, dance around, spin around, twirl, pirouette. I'm kind of at this desk here, the way everything is organized with the camera, so I just get to shake things out here. But as you feel better and loose, woohoo! Let's dive back in. Ready? All right. Let's play. Last part of step number 2. Then we're going to dive into step number 3. Taking us back to the story. We go to another dealership, hour and a half away, starting to get dark. I don't usually like to go out at night, truth be told. I like staying, hunkering in, getting up early and going dancing well hours before the sunrise. But we go into another dealership. We find a 2021, not quite what we'd be looking for, but we test drive this thing. And it clicks. Oh my God. This is the sensation I felt in my space capsule. This is the amount of control I was looking for. This is the power I need. The latest ones are actually as powerful as the 18-wheelers. This is the power I need. And this is what I've been envisioning as far as the comfort for long drives that I desire. I've already seen this in my mind's eye. And I wanted to turn to Jessica, but there was a salesperson in the truck with us and say, this is it. We found it. The salesperson, he was so exhausted. It was late on a Saturday night. He just wanted to get home and get some rest. But I was like, Eureka, this is it. Vibration met the door popped open, and we were there. What does that mean? It means there's an energetic frequency to every single future out there. When you vibrate at the frequency of having what you desire, the door to the future you desire inevitably pops open. And the door had just thrown itself open. Which brings us to step number 3. Because the story isn't over. It's not over there. It's not over here. Step number 3. Follow the flow line. This is the most important lesson of the day. Follow the flow line. Out of step 1, step 2, step 3, the flow line is the most important. Some people talk about watch for the doors that open. I like to say watch for the doors that close and bless them, for they are pure magic. That's where the goodness takes place. That's the steering. That's the guidance. That's the juice. When a door closes, you get to go, woohoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, but I really wanted that job. There'll be a better one. I really wanted that partner. There's somebody else in greater sync or resonance. I'm not making light of things. I lost my fiance 2 weeks after I had my first near-death experience. She was gone. Vanished. Bye. Adios. Never got to speak to her again. Are you kidding me? Well, thank God for that, because I found Jessica. And how does it get any better than this? I love you, Pookie. That came out of a powerful door closing that put me in mourning for like 2 or 3 years. Boy, did that send me on a tailspin because I didn't get closure. But the closure was always supposed to come from within. The blessing always comes from within. So you pull out your Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass and you look for every single door that closes. And you say, thank you. Because that is steering and guidance from the universe. We're talking about the story of Grace and Ease. When it came to Grace finding the RV that we desired, we knew what the RV was that we want. We got to a dealership. It sold literally 7 minutes before we got to buy it. We went to order one online after we arranged everything with a salesperson. She went on vacation literally 7 minutes before we got to buy it. We went to another salesperson a few days later. He was going away. We got to find another person, and maybe you're going, it's not the dealership, and they go to place the order, and it turns out the entire country is out of the generators that power these RVs. All right, that should be a hint. On top of that, everything but the custom one we were looking at had single paned glass, but we wanted double paned glass, which is quieter for our studio, and because the fact that we have a 140 decibel rooster who travels with us. And so what did I do? I go running back into my space capsule. I bless the doors that close. No generator, can't get one, couldn't even order one if we want to. Certainly can't buy one locally that was a compromise that didn't have the glass that we want. I have to envision that glass, and then I have to let go of it. And the next morning I got an email from somebody who had exactly what we were looking for. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? Let's go to the truck, because this is what I call the flow line. Actually, you can go to the RV and look at this. Truck number, or RV number 1 doesn't work out. You don't go, oh no, that's terrible. You bless it and you pivot. And we're going to talk about the art of the pivot in a minute. You go to the next piece of the puzzle. It doesn't work out. You bless it and you pivot. You go to the next piece. You bless it and you pivot. You bless it and you pivot. You bless it and you pivot. If you have ever seen a mogul skier or anyone flying down the mountain, what they're doing is they're basically pointing their nose downhill, and when an object gets in the way, they turn. And they point it downhill until an object gets in their way, and they turn. And what it ends up looking like is this graceful dance, or almost like an Olympic toboggan run, as they are flowing down the hill. Water flowing in a stream or a river never fights against the rock that it hits. It may go woohoo as it goes over it, around it, not quite under it, creates a little eddy, creates a little pool, plays with it for a while, and then goes on. It has fun with the blocks. That's what we did. That's what you get to do too. So now let's bring it back to where we are, current day, on discovering ease. And what we're really talking about is the art of the pivot. It is going downhill. Something blocks you. You give thanks. You side shuffle. Side shuffle is actually what Ruru does. He likes to dance around us with one wing out. And he dances around one way, puts the other wing out, and he dances around the other way. That's the side shuffle. So you go one direction, it stops, you bless it, you go the next and the next. So the truck. We figure out, now there's some thinking involved. We think we know what the truck is going to be, which is interesting. Law of opposites here. Jessica pulled a fast one on me. And she picked the exact opposite look of a pickup truck that I ever would have thought of. And in future episodes, you'll get to see that truck. But I'm going, are you kidding me? Really? The funny thing is, though, I went into my space capsule and I felt it out. And that's what Jessica did. She didn't use the space capsule. She went scrolling through trucks and she said, what feels light? What feels heavy? What is my heart being pulled to? So your heart is being pulled down the mountain. How it happens, that's not your responsibility. You go, you pivot, you turn, you go, you pivot, you turn. But she found one that was 180 degrees from what I wanted. But I went and felt into it. And it felt good. Actually, it felt great. And so we start looking for these things. And can't find one, find one. We put a deposit on it. Woohoo! And then they heard back that it's not going to be available for another 6 weeks. And then we go and we look for another, which is actually where we're at today. I believe I had a phone call earlier. Somehow it got through during this event. And I have different dealerships who have what we're looking for. And we are just going to flow into it and see and feel what comes out. Another way that you can call the flow state is the whee, the point of being on the roller coaster with that rush downhill. I want you to look for the feeling state, to look for both the point of least resistance and the point of best sensation. Bringing it back full circle. What we're talking about today when we're talking about manifestation is we're talking about the energy and the flow. There's a natural flow to everything. Look for it, see it, feel it, experience it, be it. The flow line is finding where the doors close and going to the doors that open. And I recommend when a door closes, not only do you bless it, but you go into your space capsule and feel out what are the other possibilities. And yes, sort of like the movie Moneyball. I love the movie Moneyball. Baseball team, Oakland A's, doesn't have the money for anything, lost their star players. And the team manager could go and hire some recruits, lower level recruits, and see how the team could eke by, but instead challenged the recruiters on his team and said, we have to start asking better questions. When you hit the block, when you hit the wall, when you hit that door that closes, or that person who slams the door in your face, you can say, thank you. You can certainly bless the experience, which helps create, it's the law of transmutation. It helps transmute a negative into a positive, truly transmuting into a positive. You go to the law of non-resistance, which means I'm not going to fight this, but I'm going to go into my space capsule and I'm going to ask better questions. Does it have to be this truck? Does it have to be a giant truck at all? Could it be a pickup? Could it be a dually? Does it have to be this model? Does it have to be this manufacturer? Does it have to be? Does it have to be? Does it have to be? And the more that I can let go of what I feel it has to be, the more the universe can plant something even better in my hands. This is what's so important. But now bringing it back, I can remember years ago, way before Jessica came in my life, girl dumped me. Actually, it's not so much that she dumped me. She cheated on me. And then, once the other guy was firmly established in place, then she left. And what she said wasn't so kind. And I do send her lots and lots of love because it helped me find Jessica. But she said that this time with me, because we hadn't gotten married, was wasted. She wasted years of her life. Wasted. Not a drop of sunshine is ever lost, is ever wasted. It is all steering, it is all guidance. For her, she married the guy she cheated on me with. And hopefully they're very, very happy. And I do truly mean that. For me, it was 1 degree off. Actually, it was maybe 2 or 3 degrees. It was powerful, perfect steering. So when you feel stuck right now, when you feel things aren't working out, when you're going, I'm not able to manifest what I desire, it's likely that something even better is waiting for you. Even better than you ever could have imagined. And so we go back to that space capsule. I want to talk about another manifestation tool for just a few minutes, and that is awe, the automatic writing experience. What in the world is awe? Well, first, let's talk about the name, the title, awe. What does it mean to be in awe? It means to be in a state of joy, to be in a state of excitement, to be like I was on the edge of the Grand Canyon the first time, crying. Who's going to cry by looking at a hole? Oh my God. This is the most beautiful. It's not even strong enough of a word. The awe that came about from that experience just had tears just gushing out of me. When I had my first near-death experience, the awe, the sense of joy, the sense of wonder, the sense of love, the sense of, wow. I used to have tears when thinking about it, but it was a different kind of tears. Now I'm in that state of awe. Defies words. That emotional state is so incredibly powerful for attracting anything into your life. Maybe we should call it, instead of following the flow line, following the awe line. Follow what brings you the greatest sense of awe. So now bringing it back to awe. We call it awe, the automatic writing experience, because when you go into awe, when you get into this sacred space, and this book shows you how, and automaticwriting.com, you can get the book, or you can get a video-based program with a live class. We've got a live class next Thursday. Shows you how to get into this state of awe. And when you get into that state and you put pen to paper, watch out. Watch out. What do I have to dug and cover? No, far from it. When you get into a state of awe, when you get into the state of joy, you are in sync. You're in synchrony with the universe. And you put pen to paper, you've got headphones on, you've said a couple prayers, you go quiet, you can almost have your eyes closed, and you just start the pen moving. And it starts writing for you. From God, from source, from spirit, from universe, your guardian angels. It's always from the highest level source. I write to the archangels. I'm an angel guy. You've probably seen that in some of my other videos. Never expected to be saying I'm an angel guy, but I am. Manifestation alchemist and angel expert. What do angels have to do with manifestation? Well, when you first experience the sensation of an angel being with you, you're in a state of awe. Michael, I don't believe in angels. You don't need to believe in angels. You just get into this state of joy, and with that pen on paper, the words begin to flow, your jaw hits the floor, you're in awe, and off to the races you go. Bringing it back really full circle here today. Hermeticism, thousands of years, as above, so below. What does that mean? It means that this world is a giant pool, a reflective pool of what's going on up above or what's going on inside of ourselves. When we work on what's in here, it reflects out here. And so you can go into automatic writing, and it's a very, very powerful tool for getting to what I call the other side of the veil, to getting up there or getting in here and beginning to rewrite everything in your life. You find your purpose, you find your path, you find your direction in awe. And going back to manifestation, not only does it help you feel out, follow the awe line, follow the flow line, and see what feels best, but now since you're playing on the other side of the veil, it helps you attract that into your life. In fact, we have a manifestation chapter in the book called the Woohoo 8. The Woohoo 8 is a technique where we look at that flow line in 8 different categories of your life, helping you to attract health and wealth and happiness and a connectedness and a sense of greater creativity and a healthier, happier family, and on it goes. Out of that process, it's interesting, we're talking about cars. Okay, I am a car and truck nut. No, I never thought I was a truck nut. I am a car nut. And I have a beautiful Tesla outside, a yellow Tesla, gold wheels. And I don't say that to be like, I'm the greatest person because I got, no, none of that. Although I had been working, that's the key, working to attract an electric vehicle into my life for decades. And it was many cars ago that I said, that's it, my next car is going to be an electric. And I got to a Prius, then we got knocked on our butts, and I got back to a Honda Accord, and then Tessie magically appeared. When I stopped fighting and I got into the flow state through awe, at that point I was practicing automatic writing. I was practicing my Woohoo 8. The most magical car appeared with miracle after miracle after miracle taking place, which is why her license plate now is Woohoo 8, the technique we teach in this book. So if you want to practice in your space capsule, if you want to take things to the next level, get on the automatic writing experience and spend time each and every day in awe. So you can get the book, automaticwriting.com. You can get it at Amazon and bring your receipt back to automaticwriting.com and get a whole bunch of bonuses. Or you can get the video-based program with a live class this Thursday. And that's the reason I'm bringing this up, because I would love to see you at the live class. All right, with that said, I'm looking around saying, did I bring water? I didn't. But we are going to do a meditation here in just a moment. I want you to shake things out for just a second. Don't have to get too excited, because I don't want to get you really, really buzzed and energized. But we're going to do a manifestation meditation now. And so I want you to sit good and comfortably, but nice and relaxed. Some people it's the middle of the day. Some people it's early evening. Others it's the middle of the night. And I just want you to sit nice and comfortable and relaxed. Nice, comfortable, and relaxed. In a state of total grace and ease. Grace and ease. Grace and ease. Breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and out. In and out. In and out. And now as you're breathing, nice and slow and deep, I want you to envision all of us watching this video, past, present, and future, holding hands in a giant circle. You feel the person on your right. You feel the person on your left. You see an amazing, glowing, bluish purple phoenix coming up from the campfire in your center. And we are all here together, now in this moment of space and time, all focused on setting an intention for the greatest grace and ease for everyone here and for everyone everywhere on the planet. This means a total planetary healing, total planetary peace, and an uplifting of humanity to an entirely new level, one filled with incredible grace and ease and joy. I'd like you to take just a minute and feel into a world of total grace and ease and joy in your life or the entire world. And now, since this is a manifestation meditation, now that we're in synchrony, now that we're all focused on this grace and ease together, I want you to step into your space capsule and imagine anything large or small that you would like to attract into your life. And realize you're surrounded by goodness now. In fact, if you believe in angels, imagine that there is an angel behind of each one of our backs. Except they're not imaginary. They're real. And feel them hold you by pressing their gigantic wings up against you. And as they hold you securely, you imagine yourself being carried off to a state, to a place where you now have exactly what it is you desire. You see it. You feel it. You experience it. And you know it to be so. So I'd like you to take just a minute or two. You're in your space capsule. We're all supporting you. We're all giving you strength. The angels have your back. We are linked in an entire circle of feathery angels supporting each one of us. Take a minute or two and play in this life, play in this world, and see yourself living in this experience. Really get into that feeling state of what you desire. Bring as much emotion to it as you can. If any self-doubt comes up, just lean back and feel the angel's wings against you. If not, you can simply lean back and know they're there to help carry you to an even higher level. So feel free to stay in this state for as long as you would like. And bringing in the law of gratitude as you finish. Say, thank you, angels, or thank you, guides, or thank you, spirit. Thank you, inner wisdom, whatever feels right to you. But go to gratitude as you bring yourself back into the reflective pond, knowing that you are in the creative process. You are creating with your heart, you're creating with your emotion, and you are creating every single time you go into the space capsule. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Pookie. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everyone who is being here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday for our automatic writing class. That's at automaticwriting.com. Come join us for our next live event, which is going to be this Sunday night, which will be on the East Coast, will be at 8:30. On the West Coast will be at 5:30. And last, of course, you can join us for our Manifestation Mastery Circle. That will be the next class with Florence Scovel-Shin this coming Wednesday at, again, 8:30 East Coast, 5:30 Pacific. Love you guys so, 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 so much. And keep on shining bright. Woohoo! Or in the words of Southern Comfort, who has not made an appearance yet today, woo-hoo. Bye, that's right. Love you guys. Sean Bride. Woo-hoo. Bye, everyone. If you want to check out more amazing videos, be sure to click here, subscribe below, click on that bell icon to be notified of upcoming shows, YouTube premieres, and live events with me. Big thumbs up if you like this. Leave your comments below. And above and beyond all else, shine bright. Woohoo! Love you guys.